Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I am on a journey to try to get out of debt by 28. I'm currently 26 years old and I've pretty much made a mess of my finances within the last 3-4 years. So I am finally getting everything in order, trying to get out of debt and making sure that I'm planning and budgeting every single dollar that I get. And so today I just wanted to go over my January 2019 budget. Now that the month is over, just kind of do a recap. Going forward, I want to, at the beginning of the month, do, just kind of show you guys what I have planned for that month, what I'm expecting, and then at the end of the month, do a recap, how everything went, if I was able to get additional income. As you guys can see, I have a very low income. My take-home is only $1,540 a month. Currently, I am working full-time, but I am hired through a temp agency, and so hopefully, once my probationary period is over, I will get hired on directly with the company I'm working with. And so that should increase my income once that happens. It's what I'm kind of working towards right now. But right now, my budget, it's $385 for every week. I get paid weekly, every Friday. And for January, I actually had 2 weeks, the third and fourth paycheck, where I was able to work a little bit of extra time, 5 hours of overtime each day. And so I was able to make a little bit more there. I also was able to babysit for my brother, and he gave me $70, which is more than he should have, but he was being very nice to me. It was only for a couple nights, and so then I also have $150 that my dad gave me this month. So my planned income was, like I said, $1,540, but my actual income for January was $1,895. So that was great because I am following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and his step 1 is to get $1,000 in a beginner baby emergency fund. This is actually his app that I'm using. Here's the baby steps if you guys don't know about them. $1,000 emergency fund, and then baby step 2 to pay off your debt using the debt snowball. So currently, because I did have that extra income in January, I was able to put $250 towards that emergency fund. I am actually not going to do a full $1,000. The reason is because of my income, I'm extremely low income, and Dave actually addresses that as well. He says that, whenever you get on his new plan, everybody's all motivated and you don't want to lose that momentum. So he recommends that if you make $20,000 or less, you can go for a $500 emergency fund. And so that's what I'm going to do. I was able to put $250 this month, and what I'm actually planning, because you guys will see everything how I lay out my budget, in March I should be receiving 5 checks instead of 4. So that March check, that 5th check, I want to, with that, finish my emergency fund. Right now, a big percentage of my income, as you guys see, is going to debt. I have a lot of debt. My total, when I added it up, was $30,490, which I will show you guys that in another video, basically just listing them all out. I don't have all my debts in the every dollar budget because I'm not actively paying on every single thing right now. I have several credit cards that I'm not paying on, and yeah, so I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth on that debt video. This one's just a recap for January. So going down here, I put $250 towards savings. I didn't plan for anything, so that's why it's showing red right now, just because it thinks I went over, but that's just because I didn't plan for it. So that was a positive $250 that went into that account. I have my fixed expenses here. For rent, I only have to pay $200, and that is because I live with my mom. And she is only charging me the $200, which is basically just to cover the utilities. And so I'm very lucky that she's able to help me out in that regard. It's very low. For phone, $50 is my service, and I actually pay for my phone. I have debt on that because I finance my phones, but I have that listed under debt. So the service itself is just $50. I have Netflix, $15. This is the only thing I have. I don't have cable, so I just pay the $15 for the Netflix. I have $115 for car insurance, and I budget $40 for my gas. I don't really have to travel very much. It's just to work, and I live in a small town, so everything's kind of close to each other. You can get from one side of town to the other in 15 minutes. So everything there, I spent it exactly like I had planned. And then we have food. So I have $160 budgeted for groceries. I actually went over by $20. I spent $180, and I don't separate groceries and eating out. I try not to eat out very much at all, but I did a few days this month, so that's really where the extra came from that I spent. For my debt, these are the debts that I'm actively paying on. So I have the biggest one, the biggest payment right now is the car payment, which is $360. I have World Finance, which is a payday lender. I got this loan back in April of last year. It was 12 payments of $170. So that should be paid off this April. I also have World Finance Mom. This one, it's with the same company, same lending company, but this is under my mom's name. She let me take it out under her name. And that payment was $120. That one was a smaller amount that was taken out, so it was just set up on a 9-month plan. So this is actually the last month for this one. Regional loan, same sort of thing. Payday loan. This one actually, you know how they send sometimes the offers. This one actually sent me the offer with the check, and it just said on the check, if you cash this, then you are accepting the terms of the loan. And like a stupid girl, I cashed the check, and it's set up, I think, on a 43% interest. So yeah, that's great. That payment's $70. I have State Farm credit card. This is the only credit card that I'm actively paying on. Like I said, I have additional debts that are not listed here, which I will go over in that other video, but this is the one that I am still paying on. It's just a $500 small credit card, $500 credit on there. I had planned to do $80 towards it. I actually was able to do a little bit more, $110. And so that balance is currently at $365 right now. I also have Mom's phone, Honest phone, Note 8. So like I said, these are the phone that are financed through AT&T right now. Mom's phone, this is a phone that I got for my mom Christmas of 2016. Yes, 2016. It is now 2019, and I'm still paying on it because I wanted for her to have the newest phone. At the time it was the iPhone 7 that had just come out, and I couldn't afford it, so I just financed it. So that I'm paying on that. This is for my phone, same thing. I got a new phone that I probably did not need. I needed a new phone. I did not need the newest phone. I could have just upgraded a little bit, got a used phone, but yeah. So there's that. This one is something that I should rename Stupid Tax, as Dave Ramsey would say, because what happened with this phone was that when I got mine, they had a buy one, get one offer. And so I fell for it and thought it was great and said, wow, well, I'm still going to buy my phone regardless, so I might as well get a free phone. If they're doing this promotion, that's great. I can give that phone away or sell it or something. I ended up giving it away. And part of that promotion that I wasn't aware of, at the time I had DirecTV and AT&T. And you had to keep DirecTV for the full 30 months that you're financing your phone. I wasn't aware of that. I actually canceled DirecTV last summer because I was trying to get my budget under control. So now, because I canceled that, I ended up having to pay for this phone. It's $45 a month. Both of these are set to be paid off this September. And I did think about getting the DirecTV again, but it would have ended up being more, because the cheapest DirecTV package was $50 plus tax. It would have been the same thing. Yes, I would have had cable, but I just left it like that. It's like I said, a stupid tax that I'm paying every month for. And then state of Oklahoma, I actually live in Texas, but I had to file an Oklahoma return last year due to some gambling winnings, and so $50 was the amount that I had to pay for the state of Oklahoma, their income tax. Texas actually doesn't have an income tax, but they do. And for some reason, I never received, when I did my taxes last year, it told me I didn't have to pay anything, but then when I was getting everything set up for this year, this came back up, this $50. It was $48 and some change that I had to pay, so I just paid that this month. And then personal miscellaneous, I have $40 for myself. I have $10 budgeted every paycheck. And this is just for me to do whatever with. It usually actually ends up going to food, me eating out, but I just have it in there in case, like, I want to go see a movie with a friend, or I want to, I need something for myself. I take it out of here, that if it doesn't fit any other category. So I went a little bit over. I spent $45, so I was $5 over there. But yeah, that's basically my budget for January. I think it was a good month. I was able to put $250 to savings. I was able to, cover the little bit of extra that I went over on food, and the extra I went over on miscellaneous on personal. And I was able to put another $80 towards my debt. So $355 extra. This is how I allocated it. So I think overall it was pretty good, because I was able to put $1,000 to debt this month, making only $1,895. So I'm pretty proud of that. It breaks down how much you have planned. I wish it had these percentages for the actual spent as well. But actually, let me get my calculator, and I'm just curious to know how much it is. So $1,000 out of 1895. So 52.7. So almost 53% of my income went to debt this month. So I'm pretty proud of that. It means I used less than I actually went towards debt. So that's great for me. I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's my January budget. I'm hoping to do another video just kind of showing you guys my planning for February. And this is something that I love about the EveryDollar app, is whenever I first went to that February tab, it told me that it was going to move everything. It moves everything you had from January to February. Which is great. I just had to change a couple things. One of them was that since I had that $120 World Finance debt paid off, I was able to include tithing back into my budget, which I haven't been doing for a while. And I have had a lot of guilt. Not that anybody's been telling me anything, but just personally, that's something that I wanted to make sure was included in my budget going forward. So I was able to put that back in. And so I got the $120 from that debt, and then I also, the State Farm credit card, instead of having that $80, that wasn't my minimum payment. My minimum is just $25. So I brought that back down to the minimum to be able to put, like I said, this $160 in here. So yeah, this is just a sneak peek of February. I'll go into a video just kind of going over everything in debt. But let me know how you guys did in January, how much debt you paid off. And if there's anybody else that has low income like me, I'd love to hear from you. Sometimes it's a bit discouraging seeing YouTube videos, even though I love watching other people's budget recaps, but a lot of them are dual income families, or making a lot more. I'm working on it, guys. I definitely am trying to get hired on with the company. Like I said, I'm working with directly, and that should increase my income once that happens. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.